is my daily driver, a 2004 BMW ZHP, or better known as a 2004 BMW E46 330i ZHP. I know, that's a mouthful. This car actually represented, back in the 2004 through 2006, BMW's attempt at making not only a rare car, but also making a car that has figures that are super close to the higher end M cars. What this car has is parts taken from the E46 M3, which to me seems pretty cool, because a car that has this amount of, well, features and mods and stuff that came from the factory that's taken from one of the higher, more performance oriented car is really cool, and I wish BMW would continue to do it a little bit more and a little bit better than what their recent cars have been. Under the hood of the 330i ZHP lies a naturally aspirated inline 6 producing 234 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque. My car is mated to a 5-speed automatic transmission, although you could get a 5-speed manual transmission if you so choose to do so. Me personally, I went with the auto because this was not only going to be my daily driver, but I believe the auto allows you to really hear the exhaust note and be able to actually use the car to its full potential in a nicer, easier, and more of a relaxed way than you having to push a clutch in and hopefully not stall. And I've seen and heard that on the forums, the 330i ZHP clutch is kind of sticky, it's kind of a little bit rubbery, but it's not as bad as some of the other BMWs that were made around this year. So today I'm going to be talking about the 330i. I'm going to be showing you guys all of its quirks, some of its cool features that make this car, well, what it is. It's basically, like I said before, BMW's attempt to make a cool car. And then I'm going to give you guys a rev note, and then I'm also going to give you guys an exhaust note. And finally, I'm going to give you guys a score of what I think of this car. 0 being worst car ever, negatives meaning avoid this car at all costs. And I'm going to tell you guys some of the reasons why, if some aspects of the car are negatives, and positives, and or a 10 being best car best car for the money, and best car for the value. So remember, 0 being it's a terrible car, negatives meaning it's a car you don't want. There are some aspects of the car you don't want to need to avoid and know, and 10 and the positives being very good. This car is very good and it's very good for the money. So with all that being said, let's do this. So what I want to start right here are these fenders. These fenders are literally taken from the E46 M3, and to me, for a car like this to have these aggressive fenders just shows that this car is not just some ordinary, like E46 you see on the road. It's not the ZCP. It's not just a regular E46 with the I believe, the more aggressive taillights. The regular E46 had the M3 headlights, but the ZHP and the ZCP had these right here. But anyways, back to the fenders. These fenders right here are really aggressive, and to me, I think they fit with the persona of this car. The fenders show that this car is aggressive. It's muscular, and for around this year, this was like if you want to get like an E46, this right, but you don't want to get like the M3 because of like some of the problems, maintenance, and reliability. This was the fastest you can go in terms of the E46 route. Yeah, I know the E39 M5. I know that one. That one was out, but I mean, that one is like if you really wanted to kill yourself around that time. And not many people, the people who did buy those were like saying, I need a lot more room than the M3, but I don't know about the ZHP. So I mean, like I said before, love these fender flares, and they really represent this car in a very aggressive and nice manner. The next thing I want to talk about are these wheels. Now, yes, my wheels look very destroyed, and don't worry, sooner or later I'm going to replace these wheels with the OEM nice clean set, or I'm going to replace the wheels entirely with something different. But these wheels are actually taken also from the E46. Now, you guys may look at the stock E46 wheels and you guys might be saying, that is impossible. How's that a thing? Well, bend the wheel arches a little bit more inwards and put less of them, and then make them a little bit grayer, and then boom, you got the E46 M3 wheels, which to me is pretty cool as well. And BMW's, like, when there was like a poll going on when it came to like people that like the E46 wheels, OEM ones, and I talk about the competition ones, because obviously the competition E46 wheels will completely trump these wheels right here. But the one I'm talking about are the stock OEM, like the non-competition wheels versus these wheels. These wheels have a much bigger pull when it comes to the styling, the way how it looks when it's traveling down the road. These wheels really set this car apart. And the best part is, you can't get these wheels on any other BMW to date. You cannot. Now, I know you might be saying the E92 M3 wheels look similar. Yeah, that's true, but like I said before, these were the only ones made for this car. You can't find these wheels on any other one, which is something BMW should do more often. I think they should set like certain wheels that you can only get if you select that certain car. So for the F80 M3, they should put like another set of wheels that were specifically for the F80, and another set of wheels that were specifically for the M4. You know, just so they can set that way if someone wanted to, they can stuck that wheel, so that way when people first look at it, they would say, oh wait, that's an M3, and they don't have to confuse them and be like, oh wait a minute, is that an M4 or an M3 at first glance. You know, just my saying, BMW, if you're watching, you should do that. Now, another thing I want to talk about is this car's just overall styling. Like, not just like specific aspects, just the whole car in general. This car just, it just looks good. Like I said before, this car is a 2004. Get that through your head. A 2004, and it still looks good here now in 2018. That to me is impressive. And to me, I believe when it comes to the E46, it has aged well, and it will continue to age well, especially with the E46 M3, the E46 330i ZHP, maybe the ZCP. I'm not sure about the regular E46, but I know that the M3, the ZHP, and the ZCP are all of them are going to age. And if you ever see like a ZHP like on the used car market, and it's either a manual or automatic, whichever your preference is, don't hesitate. Throw your money at it and just say goodbye to your wallet, because this thing right here is worth every single penny. Every time it breaks down, every time it gives you hardships. It's a car like this is going to do that, but it's all about the fun in it. This car, when it breaks down so many different ways. It's to me, it's kind of hilarious. But at the exact same time, it's still a reliable car. I've had maybe a couple of hiccups here and there, but like I said before, it's always going to be reliable. I've driven this car on like almost every terrain. You can name a terrain in the comment section down below, and I have driven this car in it, and it's amazing. The only one I haven't driven it in is the ocean, and I'm definitely not planning on doing that unless for some reason I'm super upset and I decide to drive this car into the ocean. But that's not gonna happen. I love this car too much, and it just looks too good to destroy. And I'm gonna be sad when the moment like something bad happens to this car and I can't drive anymore, or I have to sell this thing, because it just looks too good to give up, and I don't want to give this up as well. So, like I said before, the styling looks amazing, and as you can tell for yourself, I mean, just look at that. That styling of this car, even from like this angle, it looks nice. It looks very, very good. Now, if you guys are paying attention, when I had the camera back over in that direction, you would see that this car has a spoiler, and now this spoiler, or should I say lip spoiler, was not, I did not put this on. This came factory with the ZHP package. And to me, like I said before, this part right here also came from the E46 M3. This car right here, well, I shouldn't say this car, this spoiler right here looks, and it just looks nice. And I've actually have tested a car on another E46 that has the same power, is pretty much the same car, but without the spoiler. This spoiler does help. It may look puny and may look like it doesn't do that much, but check out the E46 M3 spoiler, and you would see that it's the exact same one, and that spoiler keeps that car planted on the ground, especially with the amount of horsepower that has, 330 horsepower, whereas this one, like I said before, 234 horsepower. But like I said before, this wing right here, this lip spoiler, really keeps this car on the ground, and it really does help. And it also helps when it comes to drifting and doing other things as well. So if you find one of these and you want to take it, out to a place where you can drift, do donuts, this car will really do some good donuts. And it's all thanks to not only the power of this car, but also this beautiful wing right here. Also, what you guys can also tell from that angle is these lights right here. Now, these lights were actually not an option. These were added from the previous owner. These lights right here are actually the European lights. So what you would see with the normal one is that instead of where they'd be red right here, there will actually be like an orange and then red down there, and a little bit of red right there as well, and then the white right there. But to me, I think the European lights for this car actually make it look 10 times better. I don't know why in North America we got those ones where it's like it was orange, white, and red. Like that just looks really, really ugly for a car like this. That should not happen. But I'm kind of glad that I found one with the European lights, because, whew, like I said before, this is some beautiful lights. These are really, really beautiful. Now that I'm in the interior of my car, and as you can tell, the steering wheel that I'm holding is actually made out of Alcantara. Well, I shouldn't say Alcantara. It's made out of a suede material. It's not made out of Alcantara, but it's made out of suede. Now, I know what you might be saying, suede, Alcantara, that might be the same thing. Well, this is a much older form of it. The newer Alcantara is much more fuzzy, it's more grippy, it's more, confident, inspiring, like on the Performante, some other high-end supercars, the Huracan, some Ferraris, like some McLarens. Like they all have the newer form of Alcantara. In 2004, this Alcantara, what you're seeing right now, is what was on other cars. So this car did have Alcantara because of all the wear and stuff. Like I forgot to mention, this car has like 144 miles, almost 145,000 miles on it. So this car has seen a lot of wear, tear, and like a bunch of stuff on it as well. But like I said before, this car does have like the suede Alcantara. So this, like I said before, this car has the older Alcantara, and even though it's like really worn out, it's still pretty confident inspired. Like I can feel like I have full control of the vehicle every single time, 100%. And that to me, for a 2004 to still have that much confidence inspiring and that much like control of the wheel, I like that. I really do like that. BMW, you guys did a good job when designing this car and keeping a little hush hush underneath the radar, sliding it in. Good job. Now I brought you guys into the car with me, and as you guys can tell, this car looks pretty nice, even for 144,000 miles on it. Look at all that, you guys. Now the one thing I do want to focus you guys' attention on are these gauge clusters. These gauge clusters actually look similar to multiple cars, so I'll break it down for you. For starters, the numbers right here are actually from the ZCP vehicle. because in the normal ones, these right here are a little bit more closed in, and they don't have that much higher. I think the red line for like the normal ZCP on some of them was closer to 6,000 instead of 7,000. So you could really see that this car does have a bit of power packing underneath it. But the orange dials, yes, that's right, they're not red, they're orange, are actually somewhat from the E46 M3. The dials, well actually, well the little dials right here on the E46 were actually red. They're not orange, so you know, deal with that as you will. But like I said before, everything else in this car is pretty much identical to the E46, except the aluminum carbon fiber trim that's in this car as well. And this right here, that's something I added. That's at the market. The E46 had actually, this is a good example. This type of a trim, this darker carbon fiber color trim, which to me that looks pretty cool. Everything else is pretty much similar to this car. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the car in auxiliary mode. Now, as you can tell, this little screen right here roars to life, and this right here was BMW's I'm gonna say this. This was BMW's iDrive. This isn't called the iDrive system, but it was BMW's, I guess, attempt at an iDrive. I mean, it's better than some of the other ones. So when you actually use it, you got your onboard computer. You know your consumption, average speed. You can limit your miles per hour. You got your GPS right here, and then got your emergency, so that way you can tell the police where you are. You know your latitude, longitude, north, south, east, and west. You're heading southeast. But like this navigation system was kind of a joke, and a lot of people have swapped it out with like a much more better overall one. But let me show you a cool quirk. Now this one can support CDs, and how do you do it? Well, obviously you hit this button. See? CD right here, and then you put it back in. That to me is pretty cool. That to me is really cool that it just roars down like that as well. It just roars down so that way you can put your CD in there, and then it goes back up into its like its little home surrounded by this little plastic trim right here. This car also came with the Harman Kardon system. The way how you would turn it on is you would come over here, and you see this little button right here. Now it's off. Now it's on. On, off. And what it would do is, as you can tell, you have one and two other speakers right here. These two speakers, with the Harman Kardon system off, would be the ones to deliver your music and radio. But with the Harman Kardon system on, it would be this one, and this one right here. Which to me, that's pretty cool. That actually is really cool. You have like three speakers on your door. Same thing in the back as well. Now that I'm sitting in the back seat, as you can tell, my legs are smashed up against the seat. And so that just tells you that this car it's a small car. It's not, even though it has 4 doors, it's like the Mercedes C63 AMG sedan. If you were to sit back here, you have to sit like this, spread wide open, in order for you to get any more somewhat comfort. And I didn't move the seat back. This seat right here is in the same position where I would sit if I was driving. And I am not getting that much, room if I put my legs, together like this. Although, one thing I do appreciate that BMW did, there's like a little cutout for like the net, but the cutout also serves as a way for you to place your feet so that way you can have a little bit more optimal room. But then even that didn't work. So you got the spread eagle, unfortunately. They should have just made this car just a little bit bigger, just so you can, like the sedan aspect can actually work properly for this car. But unfortunately, they didn't. And so now, the moment you guys all been waiting for, I'm gonna do a rev from the outside, and then I'm gonna do a rev from the inside to let you guys hear what the car sounds like. And here we go. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. So, what would I give this car? Would I give it a 100 because it's my daily driver? Not really. There are some aspects I don't like about this car. For starters, how much power it has. This car would have been much better if it had maybe like 268 horsepower, to at least keep up with some of the other, some of the other like cars that were coming out around the time. 234 horsepower just seems, kind of small. And I think that this car could really honestly, really do well with it. Number two, the fact that there was a coupe version. And the coupe version was also, for what I know, was only offered with a manual. For me, I believe the coupe version could have, well, been amazing if it had the automatic transmission. But unfortunately, there is no automatic coupe ZHP that I know of. I could be wrong. If there is, let me know in the comment section down below. Number three, and this one has to do with, with another part that I previously said, the amount of room you have in the back seats. Like I said before, I'm almost 6 foot, but I'm not. I'm 5'11", and my legs are scrunched up like this while being in the back seat of the car with the seat where I want it to be. And think about this: you may have taller people when you get this car. You're gonna have to sit pretty close up to the steering wheel with your legs scrunched up, and you're gonna have to drive like that for a bit. I've had to do that. It's not fun. And another one is the fact that how hard these are to find, but also how easy these are to find. Now, for people who don't know but want these cars are really easy, really hard to find. You really can't find these unless you dig really, really deep. But for those people who can find them, they're so easy to find and so obtainable. Like, these cars can be found for under, at least for me, mine was under 10 grand. But the problem about that is they're so, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Modifiable. but they're modifiable in a really too easy of a way. So for example, I know somebody who rides the heck out of his ZHP, and now a lot of people in the car community dislike him, unfortunately. But the but then when you want to modify this car, there's not really much you can do. Just like the E46 M3, yeah, you can put, you know, a tune, supercharge it, you know, and do all that. But after all that, are you really gonna be getting that much faster? I'll tell you, there's like a couple of superchargers that I know, and it will boost this car all the way up to 340 horsepower. I mean, that's not that much. All you need for the M3 is like an exhaust and tune and a header or a chip or an ECU chip tuned, and boom, you've not only surpassed the supercharged 330i, but you also surpass like a lot of other cars within that 300 segment as well, for pretty much the same car. And lastly, the fact that now this one, it really doesn't tailor to, you know, the car itself, but what BMW did to the newer ZHP. So yes, there is another ZHP out, but it's for the 4 Series, and that one is not. It's hard to distinguish that from a regular 4 Series. At least with this one, you could tell from the wheels. Okay, that's a ZHP right there, or the way how it looks, and the way how there's like actual aggressive parts here and there. The front bumper's aggressive. You have the rear lip spoiler. Yet the back bumper's aggressive. The whole hood's aggressive. The aggressive fenders. On the 4 Series, they look like BMW toned all that down for the ZHP, and it's still, but for some reason, and had the audacity to still call it a ZHP. I don't understand that. But like I said before, for that one, I'm not gonna really hurt this ZHP for. It's not this ZHP's fault. It's BMW's fault. But other than that, what would I rate this car? Honestly, I would rate this car an 8 out of 10. If it had a little bit more room, it would be a perfect 10 out of 10. But I will say this: the trunk is amazing. I'm not gonna show that because, you know, that's a little bit dirty. But there is a good amount of room in the trunk. It's just the fact that, well, in terms of storing like large items, you're not gonna really be storing much in the trunk of this car. So unfortunately, you know, there's that, and then there's the seats, and then there's the ugly iDrive system. Good gosh, I hate it so much. But other than that, there's really not much else I can really try to hate on this car. This car is an absolute joy to drive, and it's one exhilarating car. It represents what BMW was trying to do back in 2004 and back with the E46, E39 era. This car was pretty much, I believe, the king, well, I shouldn't say the king, the queen of the E46s. This car really represented what BMW really wanted to produce. My name is Drago. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this review, make sure you click that like button right there, and also if you guys want to see more of it, make sure you leave a comment, and also why don't you guys hit subscribe, because I'm gonna be posting a little bit more reviews in the future. And not only that, but we're also at 140 subscribers, going strong. Let's see if we can hit 150, you guys. So like I said before, hit that subscribe button, also hit that bell notification bell as well. I tend to update you guys not only with the bell notification, but also I also update you guys on my Instagram as well. So go to my channel, go to Instagram and follow me there as well, because you guys at times will also get to see sneak previews of different videos that I'm going to be doing as well. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care, everybody, and like I said, thank you for checking out my review. Peace out.
Bye.